Welcome back to the wood shop. Timber is really bored, so we're gonna get stuff moving. We got this beautiful pile of hickory. Today, we're making a few shelves with some custom metal bracketry. Come check it out. So this pile of hickory is beautiful, super straight grain, and we purchased it already initially planed. So all we have to do right now is cut it to a rough width. We have to join the edges, get this thing glued up, then we'll plane it. After we get everything glued up, sand it, finish it, and it's pretty much ready for install. We got a finished dimension of 50 and 5/8. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna glue this up 56 inches. What that allows us to do is get everything glued together and have enough room on either end to get a nice clean cut with the chop saw prior to finishing sanding everything. This just gives us a little bit of room for error if there's an issue with some of the end grain on one of the cuts, or if there's a problem with the glue up itself. We can make sure that we can cut some of that end off, get a nice clean edge, and that just usually gives us the best end result with these shelves. One thing to keep in mind, if you're gonna biscuit joint, or like we have Festool Domino, put dowels in any glue up, is to make sure you keep in mind the total finished dimension of the piece. Like I had said earlier, we're gluing this piece up oversized so that when everything is set, sanded down, and ready to be clean cut, we don't cut right through our dowel. So what we wanna do is we always wanna mark the center out, and then we wanna mark the total finished dimension and make sure we stay away from the edge of that cut. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna place our biscuits every 10 inches. And the advantage of putting the domino or a biscuit joiner or biscuit joining your pieces is, one, it doesn't so much help with the strength of the piece, but the biscuits help line up the surface of the wood to make sure that the glue up comes out entirely flat. So we always put a domino from the Festool Domino in every one of our glue ups. It just makes sure everything is consistent, really flat, and it's gonna fit up really well. right, so we just got the 3 shelves up in the clamps. Everything looks like it's come out really flat. We'll let this sit overnight, take it out tomorrow, send it through the planer, finish sand it, and get it ready for finishing. This thing will be pretty much ready for install by the end of this week. So, 2-inch flat bar bracket, 3/16 thickness. We're gonna do 2 holes in the bottom to anchor the shelf from underneath, 2 holes in the back bracket to anchor it into the wall, with a small flange that'll wrap the front edge of the shelf itself. We gotta make 9 of those brackets. Let's get them fabbed up.
Here we have the metal brackets that will hold up the shelves. Just standard mild steel. They've been ground down to get the mill slag off. And one of the ways that we decide to color them, rather than just putting a spray paint on it, is to use a product called Super Blue. It's a gun bluing agent, and it's an acid. So we take a little bit of the acid, rub it on with a Brillo pad, and immediately turns black. It gives it a great way to color without having to use paint. Now the key to this though is that you can only let the agent work for a maximum of about 45 seconds before you want to then neutralize it by putting it in water. Then you can see how it gets a very nice black color, but it also shows through the metal texturing. Really cool way to finish metal. And then once that's dry, we spray a clear coat, top coat on it.
So we just got back to the shop this morning. These Hickory shelves have been in the clamps overnight. We're gonna get these out of the clamps, plane them, sand them, get them ready for finish. All these boards have gone through the drum sander. Everything is a really nice flat finish already. We're gonna jump to 220 grit with the Rotec sander from Festool just before we put oil on it. Right now we have to get everything with a once over sanding cut it to its final dimensions, sand it one more time, and then we'll be ready for oil. All right, so that wraps up the Hickory shelves. Shelving is an awesome way to work with a local carpenter and put a really high-end piece of furniture in your house. Most shelving is pretty affordable, and it's a great solution to organization in kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms, offices, bathrooms, you name it. It's also an awesome project to tackle on your own as a DIY. Pretty much anywhere in most cities you can find a hardwood supplier. A lot of places and just standard hardware stores will sell some nice hardwoods. And you can put something together for yourself that you're really proud of. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's been really fun to share these projects with you. And the best way that we can keep doing this is if you guys keep liking and subscribing to the channel. So guys, thanks so much. Stay tuned. We'll be back next week with another one.